usually say that football is the sport where spirit is the most important. And usually I say that because it's the sport where it's the hardest to score points, in this case, to score goals. And these two matches that we're talking about today just prove that. Welcome to the channel, and today we're here to celebrate in a way and to talk about the great feats of Scotland and Ireland, up the Scots, up the Irishes, which they did greatly. But they don't have the best team in the world. They don't have the best players in the world. They have one or two maybe really good players, in my opinion, Scotland being slightly better than Ireland, but they both ticket their way into the World Cup or into the World Cup playoff. Scotland going directly and Ireland qualifying themselves for the playoffs. But how did they accomplish that not being the better team? Especially Scotland versus Denmark in the last match deciding who'd go first in their group, and Ireland versus Hungary. I think in those matches both Ireland and Scotland were not the better team. I think it was a bit closer between Ireland and Hungary than between Scotland and Denmark, but they still did really well. And it all comes down to the power of belief, to the spirit, being able to push through even when things look grim and even when you're not the favorite, you're not the best to do it. And that's why we love football. That's why football is the most watched sport on the planet, because it brings that emotion and you can see the willpower, the spirit, a strong mentality, a strong emotional core play into action any more than in any other sport. And these two nations are a great representation of that. And not only that, they share something in common. They are from the north of Europe, they are around England as well, and they are very known, not only the teams but also the fans, to be crazy, to really celebrate, to really live the sport and channel their energy into the matches. And even when they don't play well, and even when they lose, their fans are known to celebrate and be happy because their team were close enough or they were in the discussion of an important match or an important qualification. And that's the reason why I'm happy for them. I'm not Irish, I'm not Scottish, I'm from Portugal. Ireland beat Portugal 2-0. I got happy for them because they deserve it. They had spirit, they had courage, and they were able to go through. And when Ireland scored the third goal versus Hungary, I got really happy because it was really believing into the end, trying, sending the ball forward. Let's go, Parrot. You know what I'm saying? Scales making that assist to Parrot like he did against Portugal. It was amazing. And today I was watching live the second part of the game between Scotland and Denmark. And they started great with that amazing goal kick from Scott McTominay. Shout out McNuggets. And then Denmark got the goal back. Scotland goal got the lead again. And then Denmark, with one man down after the red card, got a goal again. Everything seemed lost until they got the third goal and then an amazing screamer goal all the way back into their own third still. Schmeichel still trying to catch it right now. I'm still in the stadium trying to catch that ball from the fourth goal, I'm pretty sure. And they did it. It's not because they played really well. Scotland got crazy goals today. Bicycle kick, almost a direct corner, shot outside of the box, and the shot still in their own half. So those were bangers, right? But it's not because they were the best team, not because they were the most fancy, not because they have the most stars. It's because they believed, it's because they had spirit and a strong mentality and a strong emotional core, and they translated that into reality. More than anything else, they are an example to every one of us that we can do it. It will not work always, but believing makes things better even when you lose and you believe until the end and you tried your best until the end. That's your win right there. That's your success, you know what I'm saying? And seeing these teams going through feels great to me. Still, Ireland needs to go through the playoff I hope they go through into the World Cup. They bring more life, they bring more excitement to the competition, like Scotland as well. Maybe not through their team, but through their fans as well. It's really funny because they both from that region, like I was saying, north of Europe, around England. They kind of share that same vibe, you know what I'm saying? That same spirit, that same willpower. Something that actually the Portuguese team could learn a lot from them. They could learn so much because the Portuguese team is kind of the opposite. Some of the best players in the world already got some titles, Euros, Nations League, and they got anxious against angry against Ireland. Like, come on, you see Ireland getting anxious? You have you seen Scotland getting anxious when they're always the underdog? No, bro. They believed and they pushed through. You know what I'm saying? Absolute cinema down to the last minutes. And I think Scotland, even though it was not down to the last minutes, it was still impressive because everything seemed going great. They were winning. Denmark got a red card, and then boom, suddenly they're out of the first place when Denmark got a draw. But they never stooped down. They kept going, and I was feeling that. I was watching the game and was like, they're gonna score now. You know, there was always this feeling in the air that we're gonna do it because they believe, the fans believe, the stadiums. It's one of both Ireland and Scotland when they were playing at home. Those stadiums were so alive, the fans were so living it. Because in Portugal, and even some Portuguese people already noticed that, and of course I noticed too, it's kind of fake, the environment. It's plastic, empty, hard vibes, you know what I'm saying? But in Portugal, it's a bit different because a lot of families go and watch the national team games. But I'm pretty sure in Scotland and Ireland, a lot of families went there. That's no excuse because they really care. And it kind of in Portugal is like they care about one or two players, they care about winning, but then they don't really care about the game, about the spirit, the mentality, and really should learn from Ireland and Scotland because Portugal have been fumbling the bag, drawing Hungary, losing to Ireland, and losing and drawing it's okay, but not how Portugal did. They were not playing, they were not believing, they were not giving them all. They were allowing the enemy players to do what they pleased. For João Felix, in the first goal of Ireland, when Scales makes the assist, Felix stops running and it makes this little princess fairy jump that achieves completely nothing. Instead of achieving zero, actually achieve negative amounts of something to try. No, he didn't even try to stop Scales, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. We cannot, Portugal national team cannot have that perspective. We must learn from Scotland, and we must learn from Ireland to believe and push through, because football is the sport and maybe the event in the world where believing is the most important, and also is the sport where believing, having faith, having spirit, having a strong spirit is mostly translated into reality. You know what I'm saying? And it was absolute cinema. Ireland winning 3-2 in the last minutes, and then Scotland having their fairy tale dream broken to just come back stronger and scoring amazing goals. That was football. That was cinema. You know what I'm saying? I hope they do well in the World Cup from the part of Scotland, and I hope Ireland finds their way through the playoff into the World Cup as well. We need them in the World Cup to bring life, strong spirit, mentality, and emotion to the competition. Thank you for watching. Catch me live here on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Leave a like and subscribe. Use the links down below, and I see you on the next one.